Hey everybody, Roman Polner coming to you live here from Pillar 6 College Planning. It is Sunday, January 17th, and the house gets a little loud with everybody at home, so I just decided to come out and enjoy a little sunshine and have this conversation with you, in which I'm going to talk about helping you find money to pay for college, regardless of your income. Or whatever you've been told in the past, everybody can get some financial aid. There's just different types. And this post was originally inspired by a friend of mine who reached out yesterday saying that he liked one of the videos that he saw and was wondering if he could lower the cost of his kid's college because he was told that his income was just too high and would disqualify him from financial aid. So look, if you've got a college-bound kid in high school, pay attention because everybody can find money to pay for college regardless of your income. But depending on your financial situation, you need to do things very differently to get that money. And so that's exactly what I want to talk about right now. What you do need to be aware of, though, is timing, because our financial aid system is backwards looking, and colleges are going to look at your prior year's finances to determine your future financial aid. So that's really, really important. And by the way, if you want to learn what these steps are, go to 4moneysteps.com. I've got a set of free training videos that'll help lay out what the most important steps are for any family to take and their timing. All right, so anyways, let's get back to my friend's question. So here's how the financial aid system that we have breaks down. We have two parallel financial aid systems in the U.S. One is need-based, and the other is merit-based. Now, the need-based financial aid is determined by your finances. Merit-based financial aid, on the other hand, has nothing to do with your finances, and it's based entirely on your kid's profile, their academic, extracurricular, athletic, or just sometimes just plain demographics, and have nothing to do with your finances. So I'll talk about that in a second. But to figure out if your family qualifies for the need-based financial aid, just look at your income. And here are the three easy bullet points for you to consider. Number one, if your income is less than $27,000 a year, well, you're automatically going to qualify for full financial aid. On the other end of the spectrum, if your income is above $250,000, well, then you're automatically disqualified from need-based financial aid. So everybody in between $27,000 and $250,000 are going to qualify for some amount of financial aid. Well, obviously, as your income goes up, the amount of financial aid that you're eligible for is going to go down. But if you're a low-income family, just make sure you fill out those financial aid forms, because if you don't, colleges won't even know that you're in need and you're not going to get any financial aid. So it's not technically automatic. You'll get the money. You just need to apply. So everybody should fill out financial aid forms regardless of your income, because if you don't, families or colleges will never know that your family is in need. And furthermore, a lot of colleges that award merit aid only do it if you submit the financial aid form. So like my friend who asked the question, regardless of your income, even if you don't qualify for the need-based financial aid, still fill out the financial aid forms, because a lot of colleges are going to need that in order to give you the merit aid. Well, anyways, so what do you do depending on sort of your profile? Well, if you're a low-income family, again, you got to look for colleges that will meet 100% of the need that you might demonstrate. And then you got to fill out the forms, complete them on time, and submit them on time. Number two, if you're a mid-income family, like most people in the U.S., you got to look for colleges that'll give you both need-based and merit-based aid. And then if you're a high-income family, then you just got to look for colleges that give out merit aid, things like grants, scholarships, and tuition discounts. And don't worry about the need-based stuff. And, it's also important for high-income families to look at your tax savings. So talk to your CPA, talk to your financial advisor, because there are a lot of tax saving strategies that you can do for college. I'll probably do a separate Facebook Live on this topic. It's big enough that I don't want to muddy the waters. But look, I'll just leave you with these three things. Number one, you got to prepare. Most importantly, know which financial aid strategy you're going to use and figure out the steps that you're going to get, or that will give you the most amount of savings. But it's so important. Don't waste your time learning about everything about the financial aid system, because you'll just drive yourself nuts. It's just not necessary. And then number two, give yourself enough time. You know, don't wait until your kids are seniors in high school like so many families do, because by then you just won't have enough time to do anything, at least nothing meaningful. It's just too late in the game. You'll be constantly dealing with short deadlines, and you won't have any time to plan, make changes, or choose. You're just going to be like pushed down the financial aid system without very much control. You know, it's like going down a class 5 whitewater rapids or something. You know, you're just trying to stay afloat and keep your boat upright. Like there's no navigating at that point. You're just surviving. So that's how so many families feel. And, you know, don't do that. Give yourself some time. If your kids are freshmen or sophomore, perfect time to start learning, because the more time you give yourself, the more options you're going to have. All right, and number 3, I've already mentioned this, but I'll say it again. Fill out those financial aid forms. Fill them out in the right way and submit them at the right time. Everybody needs to fill out those financial aid forms. The FAFSA, the profile, and some of the college-specific forms, fill them out. Even if you don't think you qualify for the need-based financial aid, you should still do it, because your kids might get scholarships or grants or tuition discounts from those very expensive, good colleges that have their own money to give you outside of the government. And they're always looking for great kids from diverse, backgrounds from all over the country. So don't ignore those, regardless of how much income you make. And then you got to submit them on time. So many families make the mistake of sending those forms in too late. And it's kind of like, if you remember back in the day when you used to stand in line at the Apple store with the most recent, coolest gadget that came out, the iPhone, the iPad, and whatnot, and people were sort of camping out, just trying to get theirs before it ran out for the rest of the day. Well, financial aid is kind of like that. It's given out on a first-come, first-served basis. And that applies to both need-based and merit-based money, because there's plenty of government loans to go around. Like, you can get those anytime you want, but you don't want that. You want free money in your pocket that's going to lower your kids' cost of college. So that you got to line up for that money early on. So again, if you want to see what the steps are and figure out what works for your family, don't have to scour the web. And, there are no two families alike. So you figure out what's going to work for you. And if you want to figure out what those steps are, again, go to 4moneysteps.com. I've got a few set of free training videos. You can, I think you'll find them very, very helpful. But you can also find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Just find Pillar 6 College Planning. I've got a lot of videos and more in the making that will help families with all different sorts of financial profiles find money to help you guys pay for college. So wishing you a good Sunday.